Good morning, afternoon, or evening from whenever or wherever you are watching this video from. I am Jack Adamas, back with my Premier League football predictions, episode 3, game week 3 in the Premier League. Let's get straight into it. We start game week 3 with the half-12 kickoff on Saturday, which is the West London derby between Chelsea and Fulham. Chelsea looked good last Friday in that 5-1 victory, although the argument will be that West Ham looked just as bad, but Chelsea will be looking to extend their run here of only one defeat in their last 12 league matches. Although Fulham still haven't signed anybody, Marco Silva's doing a great job at Fulham as he has drawn his first 2 games in the league this season, and he followed it up on Wednesday in beating Bristol City in the Carabao Cup. Chelsea have the joint lowest losing ratio against a single team in Fulham, but with Fulham picking up more points from losing positions than any other team since the start of last season, I can see this one finishing in a 1-1 draw. Moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we start at Old Trafford where we have Manchester United hosting Burnley. Manchester United got embarrassed on Wednesday as they did get knocked out of the Carabao Cup on penalties to League 2 Grimsby, so this now is a must-win game for Amorim, or surely he has to go. Burnley got their first win of the season last weekend, which is a massive positive for the Premier League, as all 3 newly promoted sides have now got a victory under their belt in the first 2 games, which took 11 games last season for the newly promoted sides to achieve that feat. Manchester United have lost 8 of their last 13 home Premier League matches, and Burnley have avoided defeat in 5 of the last 9 visits here, but as this is a must-win game for Manchester United, I do believe they'll get the 3 points in a 2-0 victory. Next up, we have Sunderland at home to Brentford. Sunderland lost last weekend as they lost to Burnley, but in their first game of the season, they won 3-0 at home to West Ham, and if they have any chance of staying in the Premier League this season, they will have to turn the Stadium of Light into a fortress, which they will do, as again, it will be rocking come 3 o'clock on Saturday. Brentford lost 3-1 on the opening day away to Nottingham Forest, but then they did bounce back with a good 1-0 victory at home to Aston Villa, and then they followed that up with a 2-0 victory away to Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday, and they will be up for this one as they have picked up more points away from home than any other Premier League club in the year 2025. In each of Sunderland's last 5 home league matches, only one team has scored on the day. I think that will change this time round though, as I can see this one ending in a high-scoring 2-2 draw. Next, we travel back to London, where we have Tottenham at home to Bournemouth. Spurs have had a very good start to the season under Thomas Frank, and they have a 100% ratio so far, winning both their games, scoring 5 goals and conceding 0 in return. And if they do win here, it'll be the first time since the 21-22 season that they have won the first 3 games of the season. Bournemouth do look a bit shaky this season so far, and they do have 1 win and 1 loss to their name in the Premier League so far this season, but they will come into this one thinking they can get something, as they didn't lose to Spurs last season, away or at home, and at this stadium in the reverse fixture, they did get a 2-2 draw. I do believe Spurs will get all 3 points in this one. I just don't know if Bournemouth will or will not score. I don't think they will in this one, so I am going for a Tottenham 2-0 victory. And for the last 3 o'clock kickoff, we travel to Molineux as we have Wolves hosting Everton. Wolves sit second bottom in the Premier League, and they are one of only 2 teams yet to score this season in the Premier League. However, they did beat West Ham in the EFL Cup on Tuesday, and they did score 3 goals in that game, so they will be looking to replicate something like that in this one. Everton have looked good so far this season at home, as they have won both their games at the new Hill Dickinson Stadium, and they have added Tyler Diblin to their ranks now, which takes their summer transfer spending to over 100 million. Wolves' winless home league run in August did continue to 11 matches, as they did lose on the opening day 4-0 to Man City. I don't think it'll be number 12 full time, as I reckon they will get back to winning ways in the month of August, as I can see them winning here in a hard-fought 2-1 victory. And for the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, we have newly promoted Leeds at home to Newcastle. Leeds, after winning on the opening day of the season, did get brought back to reality of what the Premier League is really like, as they did get thumped 5-0 away to Arsenal last weekend, and then they followed that up with a loss on penalties to Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup, as they did lose to a much-changed Sheffield Wednesday side in that match. Newcastle, after being rejected all season long, have finally found Isak's replacement. Unfortunately for them though, he won't be eligible to play for this game as he hasn't signed in time, and with Gordon being suspended, they will be a bit short up front. Leeds have lost only one of the last 7 head-to-heads between these two sides. I do believe that Newcastle will get the better of them this time though, as I can see Newcastle winning here 2-0 with Harvey Barnes getting on the score sheet. Moving on to Sunday at 2 p.m, we start with Brighton at home to Man City. Brighton haven't been great in the Premier League so far this season, as they sit on 1 point in their first 2 matches, and things don't get any easier for them as they host Man City this weekend. One positive for them though, they did put 6 past Oxford in the EFL Cup to progress on Wednesday night. Man City did look like the City of old on opening day as they put 4 past Wolves. However, they did follow that up by losing 2-0 at home to Spurs. They will have to brush that off quickly though, as if they do lose here, it will be the first time they've lost 2 of their opening 3 games since the 2004-2005 season. With that being said though, Man City do have a very good win ratio against Brighton. They've won close to 65% of the games these two teams have ever played. I think that will continue on Sunday, as I can see Man City winning here 2-0. Also at 2 p.m. on Sunday, we have Nottingham Forest at home to West Ham. This game, in a very strange way, could be the game that affects either manager's fate, as although Nuno is doing a fantastic job at Nottingham Forest, he has fallen out with the board, and this could be the last game we see him in the dugout, although it would be a shame as he is doing a fantastic job down at Forest. Graham Potter, though, on the other hand, he could be out of a job come full-time, as the results on the pitch aren't good enough for West Ham, as they have conceded 11 goals in their first 3 matches, losing all 3. With that being said, Forest have won the last 3 head-to-heads. I think it'll be 4 come full-time, as I can see Nottingham Forest winning here in a 1-0 victory. And the 4:30 kickoff game on Sunday, it is game of the weekend. It is first v second from last season, as we travel to Anfield where we have Liverpool hosting Arsenal. A lot has been said about Liverpool so far this season, as they have taken a 2-goal advantage in both of their games and let both of their oppositions in Bournemouth and Newcastle back in the games, but they did go on to win both of those games, so therefore they are showing signs of champions. However, they can't let Arsenal take the lead in this one, otherwise Arsenal won't let them off the hook. Arsenal sit at the top of the table so far with 2 wins this season. One was a below par performance against Manchester United, the other was a 5-0 thumping of Leeds, which they won comfortably. It is interesting this game because I don't know how Arsenal will set up. Will Arsenal come here and they'll go for the victory, or will Arsenal come here with the mentality of this is a must not lose match? Only time will tell. I think I stand alone in my prediction with this game, as the last 4 head-to-heads at Anfield have all finished in draws. But for this game, I think that Liverpool will turn up. I think their defence will definitely turn up and be solid this time round, and I think they will win here in a convincing 2-0 victory. And to round out game week 3 at 7 p.m. on Sunday, we have Aston Villa at home to Crystal Palace. Villa have had a very poor start to the season, and they are the second team this season so far not to score a single goal. And in truth, they are lucky to even have a point on the board after their first 2 matches. Palace qualified for the Conference League yesterday as they won 1-0 over 2 legs against Fredrikstad, which on paper doesn't sound very good, but the main target would have been to qualify, and they did achieve that. Palace have won 4 of the last 5 head-to-heads between these two sides, but with Aston Villa not being able to afford to lose another game, and with Crystal Palace being tired from yesterday's trip to Fredrikstad, I am going to go for an Aston Villa win here in a 2-1 victory. Thank you very much if you are still here at the end of my video. I really do appreciate the love and support I've been getting from you guys. Please do continue to like, share, follow, but most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a good weekend, guys, and remember, if you don't shoot, you can't score. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.